of the cool things about having a boat up here in the Pacific Northwest is you don't have to wait very long to figure out if you have a leak on the boat. So every day or every other day or whatever, water falls out of the sky, and if any of it can get inside of the boat, it will. So lest you should ever let your defenses down, this country up here will certainly slap you upside the side of the head. Let's talk about it. So I'm standing at the lower Helm station right now, and the other day it was raining from the north, and so the water was running right down the outside of the starboard side of the boat here, and I'm going to spin you around. This is the door that slides open to come in from the boarding ladder out here, and this, I knew this would, looks like this in a couple places on the boat where there were leaks, and we thought they were all fixed. These windows have all been rebedded and all that kind of thing. However, I had water just dripping in here and in here. That's where we found ourselves. Water just dripping in. I mean, it was coming in pretty aggressively. So I pulled the window out, and I've got it just taped in place right now, and I ran over to West Marine and I got me some Sikaflex, and I'm going to see if I can get the door off, because I think to do this properly I should have it laid down and put the Sikaflex in and push the window down into it and kind of keep some weight on it while it sets up. Not really sure if I'm going to be able to do that. I haven't figured out how to get this door off yet, but I'm going to look at that for a minute and see if I can figure out how to do that. And if I can, I will take the thing off, take it up on the upper deck up there where I can lay it down on the table and work on it there. And if not, we'll fix it right here where we're at. But we are going to rebed this window and see if we can't keep some more of the water on the outside. Literally, all I had to do was step outside on the outside of the boat, lift the door up a little, pull the bottom out, and it came right out of there. So I have it up here. I laid it on a cushion just on the table for a minute. And I've got most of the old goop out of here, but now that's out, I can probably clean this up a little better and kind of clean off all the green goo from where it's been wet. I don't know that I have the expertise to fix this right now, but now that I know that it comes right out, I'll probably revisit this at some point. Also, I saw that the previous owner had put some thin weather stripping around the outside of the door for this thing to kind of seal up against, so I might replace that as well. So right now the opening down at the bottom there is just wide open, so hope it doesn't rain today. Looking around, the clouds are right down here on the water, and it could easily rain, but hopefully if it does, I'll go tape a garbage bag over the hole. But let's tear into this. well, I just took a short pause. I just finished up the door. I've done a couple of other little odd jobs around the boat here, and it's a Formula One weekend, so I've got some qualifying to watch, and then tomorrow morning we'll have a race to watch. But I think that door is sealed up good. Looks like that job went okay. At this point, I think it would be folly to say, oh, I fixed the last leak. Because every time I think I've got them all, then I find another one. So I will not say that. But what I will say is I believe that leak has been fixed. So let's move on to whatever else is next on the list of stuff to do. Well, I don't know about you, but it seems to me like there's been kind of an elephant in the room that we haven't been talking about. And I think it's time we just talk about it. It's those thrusters. So I've been trying now for 2 more weeks to find me somebody to put these on. So I have gotten a hold of the company that the guy who sold me the things recommended. And I also talked to another shop here that's over kind of by West Marine there. I think it's actually the place that hauled the boat out when the guys did the lithium upgrade and so forth. But they both, when I got a hold of them, said, oh yeah, let me take your information and someone will call you. And no one has. So I've been on the Trawler forum, and I've been talking to a couple of folks that have got these side shift stern thrusters, and a couple of them now said, hey, I did it myself and you could do it yourself as well. So that may be very well what we wind up doing. What that would entail is we'd have to get lined up with CV West over here, which is right behind me, right back there, so not difficult to get to. I would have them haul the boat out, block it up in the yard for a day, maybe 2 days tops, and we'd get back there and I'd drill the holes through the transom up above the water line and bolt those things to the back of the boat, put her back in the water, bring it back here to the slip, do the electrical work. Now the electrical work is the part that's I'm the least comfortable with. We would have to add 2 new batteries, wired up to be 24 volt. I'm sure I can get that done. And it sounds like what the one guy said, he said, well, all the controllers are wireless. So the only thing I'd really have to deal with from the wiring standpoint is getting the batteries installed, getting the thrusters hooked up to the batteries, getting some method of recharging the batteries, which that guy that I was talking to said he just put his own a little dedicated charger on the battery set and didn't worry about hooking them to the alternators or whatever, or the DC to DC chargers that I have now. And then I would have to figure out how to get that existing stern thruster, or bow thruster controller disconnected and hooked into the new 2 controllers up the upper and lower helm. That's probably the trickiest part of it. So I think what I'll do is dive into the boxes a little bit and see what I can come up with about whether or not I think I can do this. It's the weekend, so if somebody does call me back bright and shiny Monday morning and says, hey, we're really on top of it and we'd like to suddenly give you great customer service, then that'll be great. But it doesn't look like that's happening. In fact, the one guy that I was talking to on the Trawler forum, I was kind of lamenting the fact that no one here in Seattle will call me back. And he said, yeah, he said, I gave up on having my boat worked on in Seattle. I go up to Port Townsend or Port Angeles, forget which one he said, or Port Hardy or somewhere. Anyway, he goes somewhere else to have his boat worked on because he said he's experiencing the same thing I am, that everyone around here appears to have all the work they can handle just falling in their lap. And so nobody really cares to follow up with somebody who's trying to get new work done. So there we are. I'll look in the boxes a little bit. I have opened them. I've opened up one of them, looked at the actual thruster. There's 2 boxes of components in the one that I looked at. I'll open that up and we'll have a look and see what we got in there and see if this looks like something maybe I can just do myself. All right, well, you saw that we have not too many boxes of stuff in there. There's the thruster and the bracket and then the controllers and whatnot. So this, luckily enough, is the installation manual. This page right here, horrifying to me, is the wiring diagram. Now, I worked in IT for 40 years. I should be able to handle a wiring diagram, right? I think I can probably do this. So it looks like they include everything you need, and you just need to hook it up this way. And then, you know, they basically are showing you how to hook your batteries up. One thing I wasn't sure is if I was going to need just 2 batteries or 2 batteries for each, because these are 24 volt, and it does look like you need 2 batteries for each. So I got to buy 4 batteries. And I'll put 2 on either side, so it will basically come right in through the transom and find them underneath the cabinet back there. I think I got plenty of room to do that. I'll go do a little tape measure work and make sure I do. And I'm going to go pour a glass of wine and peruse this document in detail, especially the troubleshooting and what happens if you can't get this thing to work. I did get a couple of extra anodes for the thing because the guy that sold them to me said that the anodes are a little tough to find. So he did recommend that I order a couple ahead and have a couple of sets on hand. So I did get some of those extra. So yeah, let's have a look at this and see. I'll probably just do this. But if I do, I'm going to document the hell out of it because I haven't really found anyone on the internet yet that's shown this installation of the dual 350D setup on a trawler. And so, you know, someone ought to document this as we go. So I probably will. And I will talk to the boatyard and see what their schedule looks like and all that kind of thing. So this is not a job that's going to happen in this video, but stay tuned because I think it probably will happen fairly soon here. At least I know I can count on me to call myself back. I'm just sick and tired of waiting on people that won't help me. You know, it's so frustrating. So there we go. Think we can do it?